Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss lesson 16, light. In this chapter we are going to discuss laws of reflection, formation of images in the plane mirror, regular and irregular reflection, multiple images, dispersion of light, the human eye, persistence of vision, and last we are going to discuss about care of eyes. So students, in class 6th and 7th, we have discussed about light and its property. So light is also a form of energy and light is needed to see things. Now we cannot see the things in darkness. We need a light to see the objects. Okay. So how we can see the light? How we can find the light? With our eyes. So eyes is needed to see the light. Now students, we have learned about luminous and non-luminous object. So luminous object means the object which give out their own light are called luminous object. For example, sun, burning candle. Then we can take the example of tube light, stars, okay, and the objects that do not give light of their own, like chair, table, bird, plant, etc. are called non-luminous object. So this also we have learnt in class 5th. Now students, let us discuss about its property and meaning of reflection of light. So as we know that light travels in straight line. So this property is called rectilinear propagation of light. So rectilinear means moving in a straight line and propagation means production. Okay, so light always travels in a straight line. So that property we are saying rectilinear propagation of light. Now when light falls on the surface of an opaque object you are knowing, okay, object which does not allow light to pass through it. So that object we are saying opaque object. So when light falls on the surface of an opaque object, so what will happen? The opaque object sends the light back. Okay. So the process of sending back the light rays which fall on the surface of an object is called reflection of light. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about light and reflection of light. Now students, let us discuss about terms related to the reflection of light. So first is incident ray. So incident ray means the ray of light which falls on mirror surface is called incident ray. So here AO is an incident ray. Now second is point of incident. The point at which incident ray strikes the reflecting surface of the mirror is called point of incidence. So here you will see that the incident ray AO strikes the reflecting surface of the mirror at point O. So it is said to be point of incidence. Now next is reflected ray. So reflected ray means the ray of light which is sent back after the reflection by the mirror is called reflected ray. So here OB is said to be reflected ray. Fourth term is normal. So normal means the line that is drawn at the right angle to the mirror surface at the point of incidence. So ON is said to be normal to the mirror surface, that is M and M complement, at the point of incidence, that is O. Next is angle of incidence. The angle which the incident ray make with the normal at the point of incidence is called angle of incidence. So AON is said to be angle of incidence. Last is angle of reflection. The angle which the reflected ray make with the normal at the point of incidence is called angle of reflection. So NOB is said to be angle of reflection. Okay, student. So first is incident ray. The ray which strikes on mirror surface, we are saying incident ray. The point at which it strike, the incident ray strike. So that point we are saying point of incidence. And as soon as it strikes on mirror, it reflects back. So that we are saying reflected ray. Okay. Now here angle is forming. The incident ray is forming an angle, that is AON, at the point of incidence to the normal. So that we are saying angle of incidence. And the angle formed by the reflected ray to the normal is said to be angle of reflection. And normal is a line that is drawn perpendicular to the mirror surface at the point of incidence is said to be normal. So this 6 terms you have to learn properly, that is incident ray, point of incidence, reflected ray, normal, angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Now students, let us discuss about laws of reflection. So 2 laws of reflection is there. That is, first one, angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So this one is the first law of reflection. So for this, what are the things needed? A drawing board, drawing pins, common pins, a plain mirror, a wooden block, a sheet of white paper, pencil, scale and protractor. So when I am explaining this, observe the image properly. So see the first image. What we are going to do? We are going to fix a sheet of white paper firmly on the drawing board. Now we are going to draw a straight line, that is M complement. You can see in image M complement represents the position of the mirror. Now draw a normal, that is ON, from the point O on the straight line M complement. You can see. Okay, we are going to draw a line that is ON. Okay, which represents normal. Okay, you can see in first image. Now what we are going to do? We are going to place a mirror in a vertical position with the help of wooden block. So with the help of wooden block, we have placed the mirror in vertical position. And we are going to fix 2 common pins, that is B and C, vertically along the line. So when we are fixing 2 common pins, what you will see? You will see the image of B and C. So here we have marked it as B complement and C complement, which shows the image of B and C. Now what you are going to do? You have to set your eyes in the line with the 2 images and fix more common pins, that is D and E, on the paper in front of the mirror, so that they are both in the line with B complement and C complement. Okay, you can see in first image. You have to fix the common pins in such a way D and E that should be on line with B complement and C complement. Now what you are going to do? You have to remove the mirror and you have to draw small circles around the bases of pins, that is B, C, D and E, to mark their position. And you have to draw the line EO joining the points D and E. So this represents the reflected ray. Now when you are going to measure the angle AON and EON with the help of protractor, what you will notice? You will see that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Now repeat the activity by changing the angle of incidence. So what you will see, if angle of incidence is 30 degree, angle of reflection will be 30 degree. If it is 45 degree, then angle of reflection will also be 45 degree. So from this, what we have concluded? We have concluded that angle of reflection, angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So this one is the first law of reflection. Now students, let us discuss about second law of reflection, that is incident ray, normal at the point of incidence, and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. Same plane means flat surface. So all three, that is incident ray, reflected ray and point of incidence, all lying in same plane. So that we have to prove. So for that, what are the things needed? We need a plane mirror, a sheet of stiff paper, light box and a pair of scissors. Now what we are going to do? Now you have to take a plane mirror and you have to place it on a sheet of stiff paper. And you have to mark the position of the mirror on the sheet of paper with the pencil. Now keep the light box at a position A. You can see in image how it has been kept in front of plane mirror. Now what we are going to do? We are going to open the slit of the light box. So when we are opening the slit of light box, you will see that beam of light fall from it on the plane mirror. So this ray which strikes on mirror surface, that we are saying incident ray. So here AO strikes the mirror surface at point O and it gets reflected and goes in another direction, that is OB. So AO is an incident ray and O shows point of incidence. So as soon as it strikes on mirror, it reflects back, that is OB. So that we are saying reflected ray. Now see the second image. What we are going to do? We are going to cut the projecting portion of the mirror in the middle. Okay, from middle we are going to cut it with the pair of scissors. Now what we are going to do? We are going to bend the part of the projected portion on which reflected rays fall. So where the reflected ray is falling, that portion of the paper we are going to fold it. So when you are going to fold that part, you will see that reflected ray will not fall on the folded part. Now if you bring the paper back to the original position, you will see the reflected ray again. So from this, what we have concluded, that incident ray, reflected ray and point of incidence all lie in the same plane. So the two laws of reflection of light are as follows. So first one, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Second, the incident ray normal at the point of incidence, or we can say point of incidence O, and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. Now students, let us discuss the formation of image in the plane mirror. Now when you are going to see your image in the mirror, so what you will see, that image is falling behind the mirror, not on the mirror. Okay, so if we move towards the mirror, our image will also move towards the mirror, and if we move farther away from the mirror, our image will also move away from the mirror. So in every case, the distance of our image from the mirror is equal to our distance from the mirror. So our distance to the mirror and image distance to the mirror will be same, will be equal. Now students, let us discuss when object is a point source of light. So when I am explaining this, observe the first image. So a point source of light O is placed in front of plane mirror PQ. So the rays of light starting from point O travels in all direction. But here we are going to take two rays, that is OA and OC. Now as soon as it strikes on mirror, it reflects back. Okay, so AB and CD, we are going to say reflected ray. Now what we are going to draw? We are going to draw a normal to the surface of the mirror PQ. And after that we are going to draw reflected ray at points A and C. So AB and CD are reflected rays. Now we are going to extend them backwards and they meet at point I. So the reflected rays AB and CD appears to come from the point I. So we can say that virtual image of the point O is formed at I. When we join OI and measure OL and LI, what we are going to find? We will see that they are equal. So this proves that images are formed as far behind the mirror as the object is in front of mirror. So distance from the object to the mirror is equal to the distance from the mirror to the image. Now students, let us discuss about regular and irregular reflection. So specular reflection we can call it as regular reflection also, and diffuse reflection we can call it as irregular reflection. Now see the first image. Now imagine that you are holding a plane mirror in front of you. So what you will see? You will see your face on it. Now this is because the entire light that falls on the surface is reflected in definite direction. So such reflection is called regular reflection. So regular reflection means what? It's a phenomena due to which a parallel beam of light on striking a smooth and highly polished surface like a plane mirror is reflected back as a parallel beam of light is called regular reflection of light. So in regular reflection of light, images are formed. Now see the second one. Now imagine that you are holding a cardboard in front of you. So will you can able to see the image? No. We will not able to see our face on it. Why? This because the entire light that falls on the surface is reflected in all directions in a scattered manner. So such reflection is called irregular reflection. So irregular reflection means what? It's a phenomena due to which the parallel beam of light on striking a rough surface such as cardboard gets reflected in various directions is called irregular or diffused reflection. So here the important concept to be understood is that the irregular or diffuse reflection is not due to the failure in law of reflection. It is caused by the irregularities in the reflecting surface like that of cardboard. Now students, let us understand this through this table. So first is nature of reflecting surface. So here in regular reflection, the reflected surface is smooth and highly polished. whereas in irregular reflection, the reflected surface is not smooth but irregular, like a cardboard. Now see the second point, reflected rays. Here, all the parallel rays reflected from the smooth surface are parallel. And second, all the parallel rays reflected from the rough surface are not parallel. It is scattered. It will go in all directions. See the third one. Now here, images are formed in regular reflection, whereas images are not formed in irregular reflection. Now students, you might be thinking that when one plane mirror are kept, one image are formed. When two plane mirrors are kept together, then two images are formed. But it is not true. By varying the angle between two mirrors, we may get any number of images. Now when we visit a salon or a beauty parlor, we are made to sit in front of a mirror, and after our haircut is complete, the hairdresser holds a mirror behind us to show us how the hair has been cut. So we need two mirrors to see the back of our own head. Now you can see here in this slide. So when two mirrors are inclined means lean to each other at an angle, many images of the object placed before them are seen. This is because the image formed in one mirror act as the object for the other. So many images formed in this manner are called multiple images. Now let us take few examples of it. Now here, three images of the object are formed when two mirrors are kept perpendicular to each other. For an object kept in between them, see the first image. When two mirrors are kept perpendicular to each other, three images are formed. Now see the second image. When pair of mirrors is placed parallel to each other, so an infinite number of images are formed due to multiple reflection by the plane mirrors. So when pair of mirrors is placed parallel, infinite number of images are formed. Now students, let us do some sums based on this multiple image. So here we are going to find number of images. So formula 360 upon angle between the mirrors minus 1. Now see the first one. If the angle between the mirror is 90 so how many images are formed? For that we have to use this formula. 360 upon 90 minus 1. So when we are calculating it, we'll get 3 images. So 3 images are formed when mirrors are kept at 90 angle. Now see the second one. If angle between the mirrors are 60 so how many images are formed? 5. Okay, so 360 upon 60 minus 1, and when we are calculating it, so it will come 5. Now see the third one. Angle between the mirrors is 0 so how many images are formed? Infinite. So that symbol shows that infinite number of images are formed when angle between the mirrors are 0 degree. Now students, let us discuss about kaleidoscope. So kaleidoscope is a device that uses a reflection to produce pattern. So it consists of mirrors inclined to each other. So the mirror forms multiple images of object in front of them. So this creates a beautiful pattern which changes when kaleidoscope is rotated or shaken. So here you can see the third image. So designer of wallpapers and fabrics and the artist use kaleidoscope to get ideas for new pattern. Now students, in this activity, let us learn how to make the kaleidoscope, and through this we can able to study the multiple reflection. So things needed: 3 equal sized mirror strips, sellotape, white paper, colored glass pieces, or we can take broken bangles, stiff paper, gift paper, and a cardboard. Method. Now fix 3 equal sized mirror strips together with the help of sellotape. See the first image. Okay, we are taking 3 mirror strips. Now see the second image. We are going to stick it with the help of sellotape in such a way that shiny sides facing inwards to form a triangular tube. Okay, now see the second image, that how we have made the triangular tube in such a way that shiny surface should face inwards. Now what we are going to do? We have to cover one end of the triangular tube with a cardboard, or here we can use a transparent plastic pouch. Okay, to cover one end. It can be top also, it can be bottom also. Okay, so one end we are going to cover it, and we have to fix it firmly with sellotape so that mirrors will not fall down if the tube is held vertically. So it should be properly fixed. Now put in the triangular tube a colored glass pieces, or we can keep broken bangles also, and cover the other end. Okay, so top end we are going to cover it with stiff paper, and we are going to make a hole at its center. Now cover the curved portion, okay, that is lateral surface of the tube with gift wrapping. You can see the third image, that how it has been covered with a gift wrapping colored paper. So now our kaleidoscope is ready. Now when we are looking through the hole, you can see the beautiful patterns, and when you rotate the tube slowly, you can see the changing beautiful patterns. The patterns will change. So the beautiful pattern that you see in a kaleidoscope are due to multiple reflection. Now students, let us discuss about dispersion of light. Dispersion means spreading. The phenomena of splitting of white light. Splitting means breaking of white light into its component colors on passing through a transparent medium like a glass prism is called dispersion of light. So when white light passes through a glass prism, it breaks into its component colors, so that we are saying dispersion of light. And the band of 7 colors formed on a white screen when white light passes through a prism or any transparent medium is called spectrum of white light. You can see in second image. Okay, so when band of 7 colors is formed on a white screen, okay, so that we are saying spectrum of white light. Now let us take another example of it, dispersion of light, that is rainbow. Now we have all seen this beautiful rainbow, appears in the sky just after the shower of rain. So here transparent medium is raindrops. So when light passes through the raindrops, a beautiful rainbow is formed.